Minister, you've outlined some very challenging situations that your department and indeed sections of our community face. What contribution do you feel that faith-based organisations can actually make to meeting some of the social needs in our community? And can you give me some examples of that?
Faith-based organisations, and I'm currently looking at the possibilities of what I can do, and have been talking to the Minister for Finance about possibly using the dormant accounts, and that's currently out to consultation about how you can fund some faith-based organisations. I think you can, faith-based organisations and coming together across the community can provide that leadership, that necessary leadership to build something that has been missing for a long period of time in Northern Ireland, the need to build that shared society. For too long we have longed for this not only concept or aspiration, but for it to become an actual fact. The guns are now silent, and we have had ceasefires since 1994. We have had violence has ended. We have political institutions in place. But sadly, we're still a divided society. People still live apart, and people still socialise apart. And at the end of the day, what people are saying to us is 8 out of every 10 people in Northern Ireland want to live together. And I think through projects like yours, the one involving a supporting organisation in the nationalist community, yours coming from the Church of Ireland perspective, and Voluntary Arts Ireland dealing with the cultural, the artistic aspects on an all-island basis, can help to bring people together through a common denominator of activities, whether it's sporting, whether it's activities associated with your the religion, or with your allied activities in the church, and with cultural, artistic aspects.
So it's obviously very much a desire to build on this sense of shared future.
Very much so,
yeah.
Because some 15 years after the ceasefires here in Belfast, we still have so many euphemistically called peace walls.
Yes.
They're not peace walls, they actually are defensive mechanisms that actually divide communities one from another, that divide a neighbour one from another. I think that is basically wrong, and it's wrong for us not to address the need to bring them down, but what you're really talking about is building confidence and building trust in communities so that people see that they can live with one another, that there's more that unites us than separates us.
And thinking again of the contribution of faith-based organisations to that process of building that sense of shared future, of the breaking down of divisions, can you just perhaps talk a little bit more about what is the most constructive way for faith-based organisations to actually serve that?
I think that is looking at what the common denominators,
yes,
in terms of activities, in terms of actual basic precepts of faith,
yes,
because we're all Christians, and the one unifying factor in all of that for me is, and I come from Downpatrick, Patrick himself, because Patrick is the symbol of unity and diversity.
So this sense of a shared future, breaking down of divisions, is very much something that is close to your own heart.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
And for example, Patrick is the first church he built in Ireland, is Church of Ireland Church. And where he's buried is the Church of Ireland Cathedral in Patrick. So I think that it is a unifying symbol for all of us to unite behind somebody who had very humble beginnings, and whose preachings and whose writings reflected humility and reflected the Christian message.
And Minister, something that is obviously at the heart of what you're supporting in terms of the projects that you've mentioned, including our own in the Diocese of Derry and Raphoe, something that is at the heart of that is volunteering. That's obviously a priority for your department. How do you see a new spirit, an increased spirit of volunteering rolling out across our community?
Well, I think the three organisations that are involved in this project are symbols of volunteering. You take the Church of Ireland, a lot of your organisation, whilst your clerics naturally are in a paid position, everybody else your members and your congregations are all volunteers, because you get involved on all the extracurricular activities, such as, shall we say, tea events, events that help the parish, that help the whole structure, that I think of tombola events, I think of art exhibitions, I think of things that bring benefit to the community and also unite people because they're done on a joint basis. I take, and that's volunteering. It's simply helping people,
Yes.
whether it's done in an organised organisation or whether it's a neighbour giving a cup of tea to the next door neighbour if they happen to be sick or they need help at a particular time. And I think that's an example of what your organisation does. I take the Gaelic Athletic Association. It's the biggest voluntary sporting organisation on this island, but it is also a cultural organisation. But it brings people, brings young people day and night onto a pitch to play in a competitive way, but teaches them the very skills of sport, of teammanship, of coming together and about respect for sport, but also respect for others as well. And they, through working with yourselves, are also trying to see how they can bring sport to a part of the community that hitherto was not involved in the Gaelic Athletic Association. I see your link in all of this to be Voluntary Arts Ireland, because they are reflecting the arts and the cultural activity of this island in all its various forms. And I think in all its various forms it has to be displayed in a non-combative, in a non-violent sort of way.
I mean, obviously, as you talk about these things, Minister, we're very aware that we've moved from a situation of conflict, and we're now seeking to build the peace. And you've been very clear in the sense of expressing your own political commitment to a shared future. I suppose another phrase that might sum that up is the sense of something for the common good. Are there ways in which faith-based organisations and government can constructively cooperate to meet some of the deepest social needs in our community? And can you give me some examples of that?
Well, first of all, I believe that faith-based organisations are already addressing a social need, not only through the gospel, but also through the good works that you do on a daily basis in helping your communities and assessing the need for your communities. And you do a job that government could never ever do, because you know your community, and that's where we are at a distance from that. But we want to be there to support and to lever probably funding for you, as well as maybe provide funding to you to do your job. But we also want to be able to connect you with other parts of your community that you're not maybe associated with. And I think across the community we are currently looking at how we can assist faith-based organisations, I suppose both Christian and non-Christian, to come together and to act as the leading lights in a community at a time when there's a high level of antisocial behaviour, at a time when other forces are trying to break down the very precepts of a normal society. I think it is important to promote projects that bring about and develop a normal society in Northern Ireland, that bring people together, and to do that in a tangible, pragmatic way that brings help and benefit and addresses the needs of society is what I'm about.
So what you have is a sense of a belief in the future?
I very much have a belief in the future, but a belief above all in a shared society, because I think that is the only way that we can go in Northern Ireland.
Quite literally, a shared future.
A shared future.
Minister, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.